Hello my friend, today I will tell you what is Java, what is programming language, what is Java virtual machine, what is a compiler and many other things like that, okay? These are basics and this lesson is very important in order to understand anything in, well, any language, not only Java. If you want to understand programming, you have to watch this lesson, okay? After this lesson, everything is gonna become clear. Okay, so what is Java? Java is a programming language that we use to talk with our computer somehow, right? Well, you see, our computer is talking in a bit different language than we are talking, right? I'm talking in English, well, language right now, and you understand me pretty well, right? But our computer likes things like that. 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Why? Because these are electric impulses, okay? And, well, they jump from 0 to 1s, and that's how computer is interpreting everything that you see right now, okay? It interprets the sequences of 0 and 1. It would be very hard for us to write programs like that, right? 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and it would mean, hey, show me the pixel in the color like that, and for example, I don't know, show the button, click on button or something like that. To imagine writing things like that, that would be horrible. That's why we have got something what is called programming languages that are having syntax that is easy to understand for us. It is not as easy as, for example, right now English, right? But it's gonna be easy when we learn the rules, like we learn, for example, for English, right? Or another language. And well, we just gonna be able to talk. So for example, we can write later something like integer b. And it means, hey, I want to save in the random access memory, so in the RAM, a place for the integer. So it means I want to save a number somewhere, right? I want to find a place like that. And this thing would mean I want to reserve something for computer, okay? It will be, well, this thing would not mean anything because it's also only understand by us, right? It needs to be also changed to 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And the process of changing this into 0, 1, 0, 1 is called compilation, okay? So programming language is something that is understood by us, but it's, a syntax that can be easily changed into 0 and 1s, right? Okay, so this is a programming language. And why did I put so much effort to, tell you what is a programming language? Because, in Java, the process of compilation is a bit different. It's very hard to understand for people new to Java. And some people do not even understand it after, writing with programs in Java for many years. Okay, so what's going on here? Normally, let's, for example, see here a programming language like C++, right? When you write a code, okay, so imagine here we have got some kind of code. So we have got something like that, right? Int b or other things like that, or something like that in Java or whatever. We have got some kind of code here. And this code is gonna be changed by something what is called compilation, right? So we can write here compilation, right? So this thing is gonna be changed into the 0 and 1s, right? 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Well, this code is called machine code. It's gonna be executed. Everything is okay. There is small problem in the C++ solution because there is Windows, there is Linux, there is Macintosh, Android, and other things and other platforms like that. The problem about it is that when you make that compilation, right? So we changed this code into the 0 and 1s. It needs to know the processor that is gonna execute the instructions here written in that code. Okay, and because of it, when we compile it on, for example, Windows, it's gonna, be able to run only on Windows. So you have to later compile it also on, for example, Linux. And the problem is also that on Linux you can have libraries that are not, for example, on Windows, and vice versa. So or you can have on Windows libraries that are not available on Linux, and then you have to write code many times. Wow, this is horrible, right? If you want to support many platforms. The cool thing about Java, and that's why it's one of the most in demand and highest paying programming language, is that the slogan of Java is write once and work everywhere. Why and how did they manage it? Well, Java is doing something like that. When you have got a code, right? So we have got a code like that. We have got a process that is gonna change this code, right, into something what is called bytecode. Here, bytecode. So it is something like between the code that we have got here and that we have got here, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? That bytecode is not gonna be, useful for us humans because, well, we cannot read it, but it is very nicely written code that is gonna be interpreted by something what is called Java Virtual Machine. Okay, this is a program, this is an application that you can install. This is a platform that you can install on any computer, on Android, on Linux. You can find it here. We can type Java Virtual Machine download, and we're gonna download it later. We're gonna install it, like for example also in an editor or other things like that. And this thing is gonna change bytecode into 0 and 1s, okay? And that's cool, right? It's gonna change this thing into bytecode that can be interpreted on any platform. That's why it's so awesome. But you have to also remember that you have to install this Java Virtual Machine. So without the Java Virtual Machine, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to run it, right? Okay, so that's why Java is so cool. So let's remind ourselves. We're gonna install later something like that. That's called NetBeans. It's an editor that allows you to write a code in place like that. And this code is looking like that, like public class Java application. We're gonna talk like what is the public, what is public meaning, what is class, and other things like that, right? And we're gonna click play like here, and it's gonna, compile this thing, right? So this code, the programming language, into something what is called a bytecode, and then the bytecode is gonna be run by Java Virtual Machine, like in time, just in time. Because, well, you might be like now, hey, this must be very slow, and you are right, it is slower than the C++ solution. But you have to choose this or this. You want speed or you want to support all platforms. But it's not also very, very slow because, for example, when you have got a code that looks similar, right? You have got a big code and looks similar in some places, then it's gonna create in the bytecode a special, instructions that is gonna make it simpler, right? It's also not gonna compile all your code if some of the instructions are rarely used. If something is gonna be used very often, it's gonna even sometimes run faster than in C++, okay? Because it's gonna create special connections that are gonna make run things that are run very, very often. So it really depends on situation. So Java is most times slower. Sometimes it might be even faster than C++, But the truth is that you shouldn't worry about it because our computers are faster and faster each day. If you want to write applications, desktop applications, or for example Android applications, things like that do not matter, right? If you have to use write drivers where speed really matters, then C++ and other languages that are like C++ are very important, right? Okay. Remember that even games are written in Java. For example, popular game like Minecraft was created in Java. So you have to know that there is a process that is called a compilation here, right? So the compilation is changing code from one type of code to another code, right? And compilation also, checks if you made some errors. So if I do something like that, as you can see, and when I click play, hey, there are some errors, right? And also it helps you debug your code, so you can find bugs, the problems, the errors in your code. We'll talk about things like that also later. We will install the IDE, integrated development environment, so that this editor that has got lots of useful tools, and we'll talk about all these things. We'll also install the Java runtime environment, which has got the Java virtual machine inside it. We'll talk about all these things later. In this lesson, you right now know what is programming language, right? The programming language is just some kind of set of rules that you have to follow in order to speak with somebody, right? The programming language is used to create programs, so instructions that are gonna be executed after changing it into the machine code by our computers. So we are, requesting computer what to do. It's like forcing him to do. It's commanding him, hey, do something like, hey, go into the system and then out of it and then print a line like, for example, hello world. And when I click play, as you can see, we have got here hello world. We'll talk about why here is a dot, why here is a public, how these rules work with each other in next lessons. Remember that if you have any questions, just ask me. I really love helping other people. That's all in the lesson. Thank you very much.